does Spartan Locke sound? Master Chief. I do that. Do you think? Will I get banned?
I don't know.
Okay. Hold on.
I'll just use that. I mean,
Okay.
we're in the video now. I mean, there's no going back. There's no
Okay,
return.
okay. So that's supposed to be Sergeant Locke. Okay. So what's up, guys? It's your boy Zayman. I drug Sergeant Locke out of the depths of hell from which he was created up for today's video, which is our official ranking of all the Halo games. That's right, guys. Us three put our heads together and tried to determine which was the best Halo game out of all of them. Okay, and we ranked them in order. So let me just break down our methodology. We all sat behind an Excel file and we typed out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for all the Halo games, and then we listed our favorite Halo game next to that. Then we assigned a score for the rankings and then just summed it up. And that gave us our rankings for the Halo games. So this comes from not just me, not just Triple, but from all of us. Marine's not here, but from all of us, okay? So, without further ado, let's start at the worst Halo game in history. It didn't even make it on the list because it's an honorable mention, because it's not technically a Halo game yet, but number 8 is Halo Infinite.
No.
Halo Infinite is so bad, I couldn't even dignify it with a spot on the list. Multiplayer is trash. I don't need to play the campaign to know it's trash. I read the leaks. They're trash. Halo Infinite is hot garbage. Throw that in the trash and pretend it doesn't exist. The equivalent to Halo Infinite is the modern trilogy of the Star Wars movies from Disney. That is Halo Infinite's equivalent to the movie universe. So, slashing that off, let's get to the real Halo games now. Halo Infinite's kind of like the ugly duckling that no one wants to talk about. But moving right along. So, number 7, our worst real Halo game is, drum roll please, Halo 3 ODST.
So just bear in mind that you just put that above Halo Infinite.
Yes, that's right, guys. I did put that above Halo Infinite. So Halo 3 ODST. Why did it make the bottom of the list, and why do I still think Halo 3 ODST is a good game? I'm not going to spoil what each of us individually rank the Halo games are, but what I will say is ODST is not my worst Halo game. So just want to throw that out there. But Halo 3 ODST, it obviously mixed up the combat system. You no longer had shield, so it was a different combat system. Halo 3 ODST, it was a much more somber game. It's one of the few games that I've played that really captured that really sad atmosphere. I don't think Halo Reach even came close to capturing that atmosphere. Halo 3 ODST has a very isolating, sad feel to the game, which is also why it made it so low, because it's almost not fun to play because you're depressed while you're playing it. So, that being said, I appreciate it as a work of art. Not much to talk about. It introduced Firefight. Other than that, it was eh. So, without further ado, let's get to number 6. Sorry, number 2. Wait, no, number 6. Okay, that was right. Number 6. Number 6 is Halo 2. Now, guys, hear me out. Let's just break down Halo 2. Halo 2 is a fine game, but it didn't invent much new. It added dual wielding. It did add playable elites, and it added some new guns.
Pretty significant changes, actually, think about it.
Well, yeah, but we've taken them for granted at this point. And the point is, it's like Halo 2, it was a fine campaign. It doesn't stand out as the best Halo campaign I've ever played. It was incredibly difficult. What I will say is Halo 2 introduced a lot of the things that I love in Halo today. That being said, there's another Halo game, or maybe there's 2 or 3 Halo games that I think did the items that Halo 2 did better. And so, all in all, Halo 2 falls flat on a lot of things, even though it introduced a lot of things that we appreciate today, just because it got perfected in later Halo games. So, Halo 2, not a bad game. I personally enjoy Halo 2. It's just that I couldn't rank it above the other Halo games. So, we couldn't rank it above the other Halo games. Correction, it's all of our list. So, next on the list, number 5 is Halo Combat Evolved. Now this one, I think you guys can see the way this list is going. Let me take a intermission to just make the point that we all are classic Halo fans, okay? We played Halo from the very start, and we played it through, and our opinions have been formed by our experience on the Halo games. So, I know the Bungie fanboys are going to come and going to acclaim us of being not real Halo fans. That is not the case. We are real Halo fans. We just had a different opinion than y'all. So, let's get into Halo 1. In my opinion, Halo 1's the worst Halo game outside of Halo Infinite, but I don't consider that a Halo game. That's a Halo knockoff. I don't like Halo 1 that much, but it did have a good story that Triple and Marine valued it for, which carried it a little bit higher. It did introduce everything we know to be about Halo, and I have nothing much to say about it. I don't like it at all, but I mean...
You didn't like the flood scene? You didn't like the flood?
I found it... I just never found it to be that scary. I like the flood in a different game a lot more.
Well,
I mean, that's...
To each their own.
To each their own. Hey, that's what opinions are for, commenters, before you tell me I should go off myself. Okay, next on the list. Now, this is where that's why I gave you that disclaimer on the last one. Because this is where we're about to really start some controversy. Because now the list is going to become ironed out. Next on the list is number 4, Halo 3. Now, guys, this was a big blow to, I know, all the Bungie fanboys.
Instant dislike.
Instant dislike. Please dislike the video. Halo 3 is my second favorite Halo game of all time. I think Halo 3's campaign was the most fun I've ever had on a story mode of a game. It was a complete blast. I thought it did basically everything that Halo 2 did, but better. I think Halo 3 had the best version of the Flood. I think Halo 3 had the best campaign out of any Halo game. The reason why it frankly made it this low is because its multiplayer didn't stand out. You know, one of the things that we are, as Imperium, we have valued Halo games as they innovate. That seems to not be what a lot of the Bungie fans do. They seem to hate innovation. And that's not saying that innovation is bad or good. It's just saying that they don't like the changes, and we do like the changes. So, Halo 3, amazing game, but the multiplayer fell flat, especially when you compare it to the later games, and we primarily play multiplayer. And so from that aspect, we cared more about the multiplayer. So the final games on this list are multiplayer games. And without further ado, let's get into the top 3. Drum roll, please. Number 3 is Halo 4. Halo 4 had a decent campaign. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just fine. It wasn't as good as Halo 3's, but it certainly wasn't as bad as some of the other campaigns like Halo 1. Sorry, Halo Combat Evolved. So that's going to get disliked.
That's gonna get
and I enjoyed the spawn with your class system. I liked the sprint in Halo 4. I liked the maps in Halo 4. I loved Halo 4's multiplayer. And the reason why Halo 4 I think fell flat is just that it was too simple. It was too easy, frankly. Like, I can pop in a game of Halo 4 at any time and probably get above 50 kills in a game. It probably is the easiest Halo game to play. Now, I don't know if that's why the Bungie fans didn't like it, or if they just suck at anything that's different than, like, the core Halo gameplay. So, like, you throw in Sprint, the Bungie fans' brains turn off and can't figure out how to do a single thing. Hey, I'm not saying that's the case, but Halo 4 is incredibly easy, and I think it just got boring quick because it was too easy. That being said, it was a blast to play when it was fun, or when it was new, and it was a blast to play even now. Like, you can pop it in pretty much at any time and play about 10 games, and it still is a blast to play. Now, again, it starts to get old, you know, when you get into game like 30 or 40, but for, like, the casual gamer who wants to play a few hours over the weekend, I think Halo 4 will stay fun for a while, because it's a fun, easy, simple game. Enough about Halo 4. Let's get into number 2, which is Halo Reach. Halo Reach is number 2. That means there are 2 things now that you know. You know what number 1 is, which means you probably just added another dislike to the channel. And you also know what number 2 is. So let's talk about number 2 first. Halo Reach introduced Invasion. That's all you need to say. The gunplay of Halo Reach, in my opinion, Triple, you can weigh in on this. I thought it was hot garbage. I didn't like Bloom. I didn't like the weapon feedback. I thought the needle rifle was cool. Your thoughts?
I think that my decision about Halo Reach was based on the fact that I was a kid and I loved Forge. That was huge. Forge World was absolutely massive. That trailer that came out was absolutely insane. Like you said, Invasion was amazing. The beta turned out to be great. It was great in the beta and it was great in the base game. But as far as weapon feedback, I'd agree it's pretty trash.
Yeah, Halo Reach added, in my opinion, the best game mode in Halo history. And it really is a shame that 343, out of all the things they are playing with, have not thought to bring Invasion back yet. The other thing that Halo Reach did really well is playable elites. I wish there would have been more of it.
Elite customization was amazing.
It definitely looked a lot better than the Halo 3 elites, for sure.
They could have built off it in other Halo games. But
definitely could have built off
apparently
it, but
not.
343 tried to throw that in the toilet. Yeah, with that garbage about Spartans. But even despite that, as we move into number 1, they somehow pulled it off. So, number 1, the best Halo game of all time is Halo 5 Guardians. Now, put the dang keyboard away, put your hands down, and listen. We can all agree that Halo 5 had the worst campaign probably in Halo next to Halo 1.
It was the only campaign that we never finished.
It was the only Halo
played
campaign.
Like 2 missions and we stopped. It was just boring.
343, we can go into this for another time. They screwed up the story by killing Jul Madama at the very beginning. He was teed up to be an amazing villain. They killed him off. Then their story had no villain. Then they made Cortana the villain. At that point, you wanted to, swallow some pills, put a gun to your head, and just close your eyes because it was just not. It was not going well. It felt like a runaway train that none of us knew where it was going, including the people who were making it. But the multiplayer of Halo 5 is really what won it the number 1 ranking. Halo 5's multiplayer is so crisp, so clean, and is so fun to play. The skill gap is high. Now look, personally, I don't like all the advanced movements. I prefer aim to be the thing, and Halo 5 was very generous on the aim. So, I've made a video about how I would tweak Halo 5 slightly to make it my perfect Halo game. But Halo 5's weapon feedback, best in all of Halo. Halo 5's Warzone sandbox, it's the only sandbox, or it's the only game that had Warzone, but I think the Warzone sandbox was amazing. I thought the visuals of Halo 5 were amazing. That's something that no one else thinks, but I've always liked them. And Halo 5, in my opinion, really is the best Halo game. It's fast-paced. It's still retains the core arena aiming feel that the original Halo games had, but it just speeds it up in the modern age. And I can go back and play Halo 3 and it just feels slow. And Halo 5, in my opinion, just feels good and smooth, and it plays very well. And I know a lot of the Halo players don't like that, and so, we disagree, and you guys might end up winning for the Halo knockoff that is Halo Infinite. But whether or not that's the case, in our opinion, Halo 5 takes the cake. Triple, anything to add?
Nope. We covered it good.
All right. Let me know what you guys think. Rank the Halo games in the comments below, and let us know what you rank from top to bottom. Other than that, this has been your boy Zayman, and I'll catch you later.
And